the series between the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves has been everything everybody expected it to be. 2 extra inning ball games. The Phillies won game 1, the Braves won game 2, and now the finale of the first half as the battle for NL East supremacy continues. The Phillies are 2.5 games up in the East over the Atlanta Braves. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy. I'll be joined in just a little bit by Chris Wheeler and Gary Matthews. Well, the All-Star break is upon us. One more game to go. It's this afternoon between the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. And so far, so good for the Phillies. Look what they've done in the first half. Offensively, well, they've had their struggles, but they've scored enough runs to have the best record in baseball. It's the pitching and the defense that has been so good for the Phillies here in the first half. And speaking of defense, it's time to take a look and listen back to the plays of the first half. To center field, Bourne turned around. The ball game is over. A base hit by John Mager, and the Phillies win it. Center field, way back there. That one is long gone up the stairs, and we are tied at 4. Pop up, right side. This place is going to go nuts. Polanco under it, puts it away. How about Wilson Valdez? More than 6 hours since this game began, and Jimmy Rollins is going to bring it home. Bottom of the 19th inning, Raul Ibanez sends everybody home. Back toward the middle, base hit to center field. Here comes Howard, rumbling around third. He's going to score, and the Phillies win it. Ground ball over the head of the third baseman, Sizemore, and the Phillies are going to win the ball game. Butter leads off first. Ground ball towards shortstop. This could be 2. Rollins to the bag. There's 1. There's 2. And it's career victory number 180 for Roy Halladay. His homecoming to the Rogers Center. It's a complete game effort. What a month of June this has been for Cliff Lee. It's his 3rd consecutive shutout. And Lee finishes the month of June with just 1 earned run in 42 innings of work. So much of the first half was about pitching. Halladay, Lee, and Cole Hamels, who will take the baseball this afternoon. He'll be opposed by right-hander Derek Lowe. We have the lineups of the first pitch when we return. season here at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies and the Braves finish off this 3-game series. Each team has won a game so far in extra innings, and Cole Hamels, the last of the big three to throw in this series. Halladay, Lee, and then Hamels, and of course Hamels will join Halladay and Lee and Placido Polanco and Shane Victorino at this year's All-Star game. And a few moments ago, they were presented with their jerseys that they'll wear, their batting practice jerseys that they'll wear during the festivities over the next couple of days out in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, officially, Shane Victorino and Placido Polanco have been ruled out of the game. So Polanco's spot as the starting third baseman looks like it's going to be taken by Scott Rowland, and Victorino's spot on the roster was taken by Andre Ethier. So Major League Baseball's had a handful of guys that they've had to replace, and that'll continue the next couple of days. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup for the Braves. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Jordan Schaefer. Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop, bats second. Brian McCann hits third. The first baseman, Freddie Freeman, bats cleanup. Dan Uggla, the second baseman, hits fifth. Jason Hayward, sixth. And the bottom third of Lugo, McLeod, and Derek Lowe to face left-hander Cole Hamels, who will be making his 19th start of the year. He's 10-4 wheels. He's trying to join the 11-win club.
Well, the pitchers are certainly held up their end of the bargain this weekend, Tom, in this terrific series. The offense is not, but hey, it's 1-1 going into the final game, and try to win this series going into the All-Star break with a good taste. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on Cole. He's pitched pretty well against the Atlanta Braves and certainly has had a lot of starts against them.
Yeah, this will be his 23rd career start against the Atlanta Braves. Jordan Schaefer will lead it off. He's 1 for 8 in the series. And we are underway right at the knees with a fastball, and it's 0-1.
This guy bunts for a base hit. He tries anyway. And he had one yesterday. He put a pretty good bunt out there, and then Cliff Lee unfortunately made a throwing error, but they stranded him.
Line drive toward left field. Ibanez is there, and it hangs up for him. What a way.
It's a good play by Ibanez because that ball drops. It's a double the way Schaefer runs, and they had him played perfectly. Time for our Nissan Keys to this afternoon's ball game. As Tom said, it's really nice here today. Just beautiful. Well, bear down and win this series. Enjoy the break. This is a game you really want to win in the biggest way, I think. And try to make Derek Lowe bring the baseball up. If you don't, you're going to be killing worms up there all day.
Derek Lowe's had a lot of starts against the Phillies during his career. Here's Alex Gonzalez.
And one thing to know about Derek Lowe is how to approach him. Now, it's one thing if he's on his game, but if you can get him to bring the ball up, you can hit him a little bit.
Gonzalez 6 for 21 lifetime against Hamels. He has a couple home runs. He's hit 7 this year, and he had the go-ahead RBI, the game-winning RBI in yesterday's game.
Yeah, he made the most of that second chance he got when Ryan Howard couldn't handle that pop-up.
Yeah, Ryan tried a basket catch and instead of reaching up and grabbing that pop-up. Battle in the sun. Swing and a miss of the changeup. 2-1. Hamels is going to his second All-Star game. 27-year-old from Southern California, and he's had a well of a first half. One of the great things about Hamels this first half is the number of hits per innings pitched. You know, baseball talks about different stats, and some of them, quite frankly, are very difficult to figure out. But for a pitcher, the whip, the walks and hits per inning pitched, they're huge.
Amen.
Because the less amount of base runners possible are so important for starters.
Yeah, sometimes guys get away with more hits than innings pitched when you're a starting pitcher, but not that often because there's just too many guys. You have to not walk batters if you do that, and it's hard to do it. See the lowest earned run average next to Jared Weaver going into the All-Star break by a starting pitcher.
And a called strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Hamels. And 1 away here in the first. Or 2 away here in the first.
I think Gonzalez knew that was coming. The call. He was hoping it wasn't because it looked like a cutter that came back over the outside part of the plate. And he took a long look at it. And I think he was hoping Guccione didn't ring him up. He got him.
See, Hamels is second over only to Halladay for walks per 9 innings. Less than 2 per game.
Done a good job this year keeping the ball in the ballpark too. You remember before he had that cutter, you know, he would get hurt with a lot of high fastballs. But you know, now that he has the other pitch, his home run numbers are way down, and I think that's the reason.
Well, speaking of the cutter, he just threw one to Brian McCann. So it's no balls and 1 strike to McCann. And there's a curveball. It's 0-2.
McCann's up. What? Cutter curveball for strikes. Boy, Lee threw him some nasty pitches yesterday. And
Sure
then, of
did.
course, late in the game, when Brian McCann shines, he got them with a home run.
He iced the victory with the 2-run home run. The 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, all this talk about all-stars. Boy, you talk about an all-star. Here's one right there. He's as good a player as anybody in this league.
Try to move his feet with a changeup inside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hamels is holding the opposition to a .213 batting average, which is the 3rd lowest in the National League. That's pretty impressive. Well, speaking of Brian McCann, here's our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Watch Carlos Ruiz. He implores Michael Stutz to get that ball down. Well, he got it about knee high, and boom, out it went. As Tom said, that iced it, a 2-run homer.
Hamels thought that was strike 3. Instead, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Everybody moved. What was that?
Well, Carlos lifted the glove a little bit, but it did look like it went over the knees. And McCann stays alive.
Cole was sailing along here, pretty easy first inning. Now all of a sudden McCann's giving him a pretty long at bat.
Chris Guccione's the home plate umpire. Mike Malinsky's over at first. Mike Winter's the crew chief at second. Mike Everett at third. Ball 4. McCann's aboard. The 2-out walk. Only the 23rd walk of the year for Hamels.
Yeah, that's a really good at bat by McCann to consider. He threw cutter, curveball, strike 1, strike 2, and he winds up walking on about maybe 8 pitches.
Well, you figure everybody is available today with the All-Star break coming up. The Phillies will have 4 days off. Freddie Freeman's the hitter. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
And the only reason would be is if the guys pitch too much and they don't want him to go today. And, you know, you have to wonder how many days that Venters can go.
Yeah, they thought he was going to be off yesterday.
Come on, Kyle.
Like to have him take a day off.
Curveball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies will have 3 days off technically because the 4th day, Thursday, they'll have a workout here at the ballpark before they head up to New York for the start of the second half and 3 games against the Mets. In the air to left field. Ibanez a few steps from the track. And he makes the catch. The side is retired. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We've played a half. It's the Braves nothing. And here come the Phils at the bottom of the 1st. in this game against Derek Lowe. Let's take a look at their lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Michael Martinez starts at third for Polanco. He'll hit second. Chase Utley third. Ryan Howard's the cleanup batter, followed by Raul Ibanez and Carlos Ruiz. Dominic Brown's in right field. He'll bat seventh. John Mayberry hits eighth. And batting ninth and pitching, of course, is Hamels. And they'll face right-hander Derek Lowe. The 38-year-old is 5-6 with a 4.21 earned run average. 105 hits in 107 innings so far this year.
Well, this guy could be a really good pitcher. You see, talked about the hits per innings pitch. He's just 2 under because he will give up hits. He is a sinker ball pitcher. Look at that. 72.2% of his outs are ground balls. Only Tim Hudson, his teammate, throws more ground ball outs in the National League.
Well, Jimmy Rollins will lead it off for the Phillies. Rollins 2 for 9 so far in the series. And he takes Low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Low from low, and that's what you have to do with him, is try and make him come up with the ball, because he will get you out with sinkers if you don't.
This is Lowe's 21st career appearance against the Phillies. Rollins thought that was low. And his 17th start. His earned run average is just a tick under 3 against the Phillies. Overall, he's 8-5 with a 2.99 earned run average.
He had some saves against him, too, when he was a relief pitcher. He'll throw that breaking ball, too, like that. He'll throw fastball, slider, changeup.
The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Jerry Lutz of Reading, Pennsylvania. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Jerry will win $100. Maybe Jerry can take that $100 to Reading tomorrow, when the Reading Phils will play at noon, and Bradledge is scheduled to make another rehab appearance. He's had 3 very good ones. I think a blimp just flew over top of the stadium. That was a huge shadow that just came across the field.
Yeah, it distracted Jimmy, that's for sure. He stepped out, and the crowd gave a little buzz. The blimp was here yesterday.
Liner to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. McLeod will cut it off into the alleyway, and Rollins holds up at first. Good way to start the first inning. There's Michael Martinez making his second start at third.
Well, they hope after the break they can get Polanco back. They won't have Victorino because he's on the disabled list.
Victorino did play catch today, so that's a good sign. And hopefully he'll be back the first day in Chicago. One ball, 1 strike to count to Martinez. Trying to get up over the 200 mark with his average. He's at 192. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, if you're wondering about Victorino and the disabled list, these 4 days that the Phillies will have on the break, they will count toward his disabled list time. You know, he'll be out in Arizona, get reevaluated when he comes back, but that's a good thing, because he is close to returning, and you know, he feels pretty good after the last couple days. Scott Profrock, Phillies assistant general manager, said the swelling is down, and again, he's eligible to come off the first day in Chicago, which is next Monday. There was a whole host of updates today. Ryan Matson's going to throw in a game on Wednesday in Clearwater. He could be back soon. Down the left field line, it remains 2-2. Roy Oswalt got his injections in his back, and he'll be with the club on Friday in New York. And after a few days, hopefully he'll start to throw. And Joe Blanton is going to throw a bullpen session tomorrow, and then eventually throw some batting practice. So he's taking steps toward coming back. It was a big injury update.
It's all positive anyway. It's nobody you have to give the thing like, well, no progress on this guy.
To the right side, a base hit. Rollins around second. He's going to hold up there. Now the Phillies have first and second with nobody out. That ball died in the outfield grass. I think if Jimmy knew it was going to die like that, he might have taken a chance and gone to third. During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs.
Good job by Michael Martinez out of the 2-hole to take advantage of pulling the ball. She said, Tom, you like to get the first and third out of that. That's why you want the guy to pull the ball in that situation, but they weren't able to get it.
So here's Utley. 1 for 9 in the series. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Derek Lowe throwing his ground balls. There's Jimmy Rollins taking a look. He knows where Hayward is. Hayward's on it quickly, and he decides he better not go because Hayward does have a strong arm. He's not necessarily accurate, but he can throw. Now he's really deep and right.
Another strike. It's 0-2.
If Utley were to hit a base hit out there now, it's a no-brainer to score. Look how deep he is, as opposed to where he was just now when Martinez, or just when Martinez was hitting.
Towards second, or towards shortstop, excuse me. Gonzalez to second for 1, and they don't turn 2. Boy, Utley really legged that out.
Yeah,
it wasn't hit that hard.
And Utley got nothing on that throw too, which helped. Whether or not Martinez got on his feet or not, but he grenaded that thing over there, and it didn't have much on it. Chase was just in an emergency swing there. It looked like with 2 strikes, trying to protect. And as Tom said, he doesn't hit it real hard, but it certainly was quick release there. Look at the.
Oh yeah,
how long that took that throw took to get to first base. And see, it's kind of like a bar of soap coming out. I don't think he really got a grip on it. See the loop on it? And when you loop one over there like that, that's just a split second that a good runner can beat it.
That'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate with runners on first and third. And Howard takes outside. Now they don't have the normal overshift on with Howard. Gonzalez, the shortstop, is still on his side of the field. And the third baseman, Lugo, is over toward the bag. He would normally be on the right side of the diamond.
Yeah, they're looking double play from a guy like good play by McCann. They're trying to get a double play ball or set up for the ultimate double play ball from a ground ball pitcher. And that's what that defense is.
Phillies trying to get a first inning run. Lowe's allowed 7 first inning runs this year. That's a good eye.
Yeah, that's a good one to stay off, because if you turn that one over, the inning's over. Because it'll be a ground ball double play, that pitch.
Which he does often, as you see there, and has during his career.
Sure, that's his main weapon, is to try and throw his ground balls.
Howard gets the green light, hits it to Ugla for 1 at second and 2 at first. A 4-6-3 double play, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left over at third. We go to the second. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Top of the second, Phil's had a chance to score the game's first run and maybe some more in their half of the first, but Derek Lowe was able to get Ryan Howard to ground it to a 4-6-3 double play on a 3-0 pitch.
And he got Utley too to ground out. You know, they had the first two on, and then the 3-4-5 coming along, and Lowe pitched out of it. And that's just kind of the way it's been going in this series, and a lot this year of not being able to produce runs
for both of these teams.
Oh yeah, the Braves too. You know, they rely on their pitching, and they catch the ball pretty well.
Uggla's 2 for 9 in this series. Hit a home run yesterday against Cliff Lee.
The Braves are going to hit more homers than the Phillies, even in that big ballpark they play in.
On the outside corner with a fastball, it's 1-2.
Boy, that's outstanding. That's a good way to stay out of trouble.
Uggla scattered a few teammates as he rolled that one toward the dugout. Talked so much about the maturation of Cole Hamels. You know, he learns a lot from guys like, let's say, Cliff Lee or Roy Halladay, and he was wonderful yesterday, just as Halladay was in Game 1. A liner to left field. Ibanez on the run, and he can't get there. Went right past his glove, played it well off the wall. Uggla's pull it into second, and he's there sliding with a leadoff double. So the first hit of the day for the Braves. It's a leadoff double by Uggla.
Yeah, Uggla hits this thing right on the nose. Ibanez trying to close the gap in left center field, not able to do it.
Fourteenth double of the year for Uggla. He's in scoring position. Here's Jason Hayward. And Hayward chops it foul. Hayward overall hitting .226, 9 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Last year, his rookie season, he had 18 home runs and 72 RBIs. He had a good year. Gets it over to the right side. And Utley throws him out. Over to third goes Uggla. So one away with a runner over at third. You know, we talked about the Phil's All-Stars being honored before the game. There's Al Mascacini. And Al is the attendant in the PHL 17 suite here at Citizens Bank Park. Does a great job. Congratulations to all of the employees who were honored today, including Al, employed by Aramark, and does a tremendous job.
Yeah, a lot of people work hard in this ballpark to make this a pleasant fan experience.
And the game day employees are honored once a month here at the park. As Julio Lugo takes on the inside corner for a strike, it's 0-1.
Lugo's had some success against Hamels in the past, but he's with the Rays. This is a different Hamels.
Yeah, he's 3 for 5 against Cole in his career.
He has some homers
with 2 home runs.
Yeah. With 2 in 1 series, 2 in 1 game, I think, off him.
Swing and a miss.
But he didn't have that pitch. That cutter was not part of the repertoire back then.
There's Tommy Hanson, who pitched well yesterday. He matched Cliff Lee. Both starters were really good yesterday.
They were.
Grounder towards shortstop. That'll get the run home. Rollins from the hole. Long throw, and it's dropped by Ryan Howard. Uggla scores. It's 1-0 Atlanta. Ryan has not had a good couple of innings here, and that should be an error on Ryan Howard.
Should be an error on him and an RBI, of course, because they're playing back to let the run score there. Jimmy makes a really good play, makes a good throw. Just not handled.
So it is an error charge to Howard, his 4th of the year, an RBI for Lugo, his 2nd of the season. And the Braves take the early lead.
I mean, this is a game, in my opinion, you just, I had him picked off there, but he just got back there. You really need to just bear down, concentrate, and win this game today for a lot of reasons. And the Braves are coming out much sharper early on. The Phillies squander that opportunity in the first inning, and they're not playing very well in this inning.
McLeod fouls it away. It's 0-1.
I mean, these starting pitchers, the job they're doing right now, everybody's got to play got to help out a little bit.
You think about the amount of runs that have been scored in this series. You know, yesterday Cliff Lee left. It was a 1-1 game. The only blemish he had was the home run by Uggla. Halladay gave up just 2 runs on Friday night. Bullpens have been good. Utley goes to second for 1, and Rollins is able to hang on to the bag.
I think that surprised Jimmy that Utley went there because the pitcher's coming up now with 2 outs. So, you know, you like to try and keep the guy out of scoring position, but there can't be any doubt that there's an out there and that it's an easy play. Here's a look at it. You know, the play to first base is also simple. So was that, except it's a little too close with the pitcher coming up with 2 outs.
Yeah, Rollins did a very good job keeping that foot on the bag. So Derek Lowe's the hitter. He's a 172 batter. Helped himself his last start when he drove in 3 runs against the Rockies in a 5-3 victory.
He had a bases clearing double in that game.
And Hamels is ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
To give Lugo some credit, Hamels was trying to strike him out on that 2-strike pitch, and you know, he hit the ball hard. He didn't even have to hit it hard, he just had to put it in play. So they got him over, got him in this inning, and manufactured this run.
Little looper, that's going to drop in for a base hit. McLeod's going to go over to third, and it's misplayed by Brown. Now, nothing else happened because of it. And there are runners on first and third with 2 outs.
Well, now, of course, it is a good thing that Chase went to second on that play, as it turns out.
So first and third now with 2 outs, and here's Jordan Schaefer, who lined out to left his first time up. 0 for 1. Little dicey here in the second.
Sloppy is what it is.
Outside, 1-0.
That's what I was talking about in the keys to the game today. This is the kind of game that your attention can be all over the place if you're not careful, because you have the long break coming up. People have all these travel arrangements, and sometimes the game becomes a little bit secondary, and it can't today.
Yeah, because the game, as we said before, the Phillies are 2.5 games up in the East. A win here, and Charlie Manuel's team would be up 3.5 going into the break. But if the Braves wind up winning, then Freddie Gonzalez, the squad, goes into the second half down by just a game and a half. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. Schaefer bunts up the first baseline. Howard gets off the bag quickly and applies the tag, and the side is retired. As Will said before, he does bunt a lot. Sometimes he's unsuccessful, like there. 1 run scores. We go to the bottom of the second here in Philadelphia. Well, the Braves lead at 1-0 after they scored a run in their half of the second. Phillies get a second look at Derek Lowe. It's time to take a look at our Mazda leaders. And Charlie Manuel the other night, thanks to Raul Ibanez, won his 600th game as a Phillies skipper. He's one of 3 Phillies managers to win 600 games or more. Gene Mauch at 645, Harry Wright at 636. And you know, Charlie's only the 55th manager in baseball history to win 600 games with one team. That's a pretty big honor.
You know, they've had some great runs since he's been the manager here, and I plan on keeping it up too. There he is overall with Cleveland and the Phillies, well over 500.
Here's Ibanez, who won the game on Friday and gave Charlie that 600th win. And Lowe starts him off with a sinker for a strike. It's 0-1. Ibanez does have 2 home runs against Lowe in his career. Had 6 RBIs. Grounds one toward first. That's a foul ball.
Lowe will go through periods when you can hit him too. You know, other times during the season, you know, he can be as tough as anybody. Hits the ball right where he wants. Other times he'll go through that little period where, you know, he'll be elevated with his pitches, and that's what they're hoping they get today out of him. Seen so much of him over the years. You know, they really have a good idea of how to approach him.
Yeah, the ball that Rollins hit in the first inning was the perfect way. Just kind of guide it the opposite way if you have to.
Yeah, if you can, if you're a left-handed hitter. What he tries to do is get hitters to get a little bit pull happy from both sides and play pepper with the infielders, and that's his game.
See his starts against the Phillies. Overall, this is his 21st appearance against them.
Saw him in postseason, of course, with the Dodgers. We've seen him in relief with the Red Sox.
1-2 the count to Ibanez. Off the end of the bat. Field, McLeod coming on, and he dives. Did he get it? He did, and he hung on. That's a good play by McLeod. One away.
That's a center fielder playing left field. That's how good Schaefer is, that he's put McLeod in left field since he came off the disabled list, and that guy can go get the ball, as he proved right there. That's a tremendous play.
Thought maybe at that point it might roll out of the glove, but he was able to hang on to it.
Yeah, he had a tough time trying to protect himself because he really had a max effort to catch the ball right off the ground.
There's Ruiz, who takes a sinker outside. 1-0. Carlos 3 for 6 of the series. His average of 255. And he swings and misses at a slider. It's 1-1. Tried to check. He went around, says Chris Guccione. So it's 2-2. So he's laid off the sinkers, but Lowe's gotten him on sliders to even the count up.
Derek Lowe's uniform is soaking wet already. He is a sweater anyway, and look how dark the back of that uniform is already.
A looper towards second, caught out of the air by Ugla. And there are 2 outs. Sheldon and Leonard can tell you anything about quantum physics, but when it comes to everyday life on Earth, they are lost in the cosmos. TV's funniest comedy, The Big Bang Theory, is coming to PHL 17. Weeknights premiering September 19th. So a 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Here's Dominic Brown. Dominic Brown, 239 this year, 5 home runs, 14 runs batted in. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. This series really has been about pitching. You know, both teams have pitched exceptionally well. Beachy and Halladay on Friday, Lee and Hansen yesterday. You expect Lowe and Hamels today.
Well, these are two of the best pitching staffs in Major League Baseball, no doubt about it.
There's Hansen. He didn't fare in the decision yesterday.
Yeah, he's no surprise. That guy was a tremendous minor league prospect, and he came up last year and did what he should do, and he's doing it again because he has talent, great talent.
Well, picked in the 20s as far as the rounds go, and he rose through the system the last couple of years. And Dominic Brown lines one into center field, a base hit. He stayed right on that one. So the Phillies have their third hit of the day. Think about Friday night with Halladay and how good he was, and Beachy threw 6 innings. Yesterday, Hansen went 7. He allowed just the 1 run on 4 hits. The 1 run was the home run by Cliff Lee, which he crushed to right center field.
He did. That thing was. Probably had to be close to 400 feet.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
And on the flip side, Lee was right around the strike zone the entire day. He was a lot of fun to watch. He was moving all over the place.
He was Cliff Lee yesterday. It's a Cliff Lee we saw the whole month of June. And for what? 5 innings, 6 innings in Toronto on Sunday.
That ball he hit yesterday, boy, I mean, it was a heck of an at bat because he ran the count to 3-2, and then he just crushed it. Toward the Phillies bullpen.
He got on top of a high fastball too. That's the hard thing to do, is to drive a ball like that, because normally they'll pop those things up. May have been ball 4 that he hit.
There goes Brown. Pitch is grounded foul. Well, he picked the right pitch to go as a slider or changeup. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Mayberry.
Normally he's not a guy who's on his own, so you wonder if they rarely will put a straight steal on.
Yeah, he didn't look back. At least I didn't see him look back.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was a steal, and plus the count was 0-1, so it's not a hit and run count.
Brian McCann just signaled something over to the dugout. Almost as if he wanted him to pitch out or something. 1 ball and 2 strikes, or maybe throw over.
He may not have gotten the first sign they gave him from the dugout, so they wanted him to do it again, maybe.
It was kind of an odd signal. Took his glove off and then slipped his hand back behind his left leg and did something. Mayberry batting 8th today. Batted 2nd the last couple of days, playing center field for Victorino. There goes Brown. Pitch is fouled away.
It's hot here today. It's not humid. You know, it's like it was yesterday, but boy, those pitchers are working up, especially Lowe. He's working up a lather out there. He always does, though. It seems like it.
See the difference between the first and second half for Derek Lowe. Pretty close. Earned run average is a little different. Win total is a tad different.
McCann may have seen something there with Mayberry, the way he's approaching certain pitches, and really wants something from Lowe, and just decided to go out and talk about it.
Grounder fair down the left field line. It's headed right on past the ball barrel chair, and Dominic Brown's headed right on past the third base bag. He's going to score an RBI double for Mayberry, and the ball game is tied at 1.
I thought that was going to hit the chair.
I did too.
You know, they probably would have stopped Brown at third then if that thing had hit the chair. And that is just barely fair down the line as John knocks in a run with his 7th double. Watch how it stays inside the bag, just barely. Now look, they takes a big hop. Oh, Brown, of course, can really run with 2 outs. He's going to score on that. But I don't know how close did it come to that chair.
It was about 3 or 4 feet away.
Yeah, from this angle, it looked like it had a shot at it.
Here's Cole Hamels with 2 outs, and he takes a sinker for a strike. RBI for Mayberry is 16th of the year. That's some clutch hitting right there.
What would they have done there? Is that at the umpire discretion?
It
If
would have
Brown
been a
could have
ground
scored
double
on the play? Or?
No, it would have been a ground
I think
double.
so. I think it would have been 2. Oh, wouldn't that have been awful?
1 ball and 1, or 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Well, that's a nice little 2-out run there. Phillies don't have a whole lot of guys that can score from first base on a double in the corner like that either. The guy they had on first can do it.
Slider for strike 2. It's 2-2 to Hamels. Cole this year hitting .205. He has an RBI. He has 8 hits and 39 at bats. Dominic Brown catching his breath in the dugout. And a changeup wide, 3-2. Back toward the middle. Gonzalez to his left. He's there behind the bag, and the side is retired. So the Phillies do get a run back on the RBI double by John Mayberry. They leave Mayberry in scoring position, but we go to the 3rd in a 1-1 ball game. Park, where the Phillies get set to take on the San Diego Padres. Come dressed in your best 80s gear for plenty of totally awesome surprises. Both teams will be wearing uniforms from the 1984 season. There's the great Billy Idol, Wheels.
Yeah, Billy's here today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was big in the 80s.
He sure was. Phillies hot pants girls are going to be in attendance as well. Al, the bus driver's here. You see Al sitting down there in the chair up in the second deck. There's Al. Al was,
Al.
of course, around in the 80s, could sing with the best of them, could sing with Billy Idol, I bet, in the 80s.
Al could have been a bouncer in the 80s, too. He's our bus driver many times for our trips to and from the airport. Good guy. There he is.
There's Al.
Once again.
You ever see those Donovan McNabb commercials with Donovan McNabb's mom, and he's driving the bus in those commercials?
Al's got great personality.
Swing and a miss by Gonzalez. It's 1-1.
Does a heck of a job with those police escorts, too.
Yeah. Donovan McNabb's mom whispered over the bus driver's shoulder, said, "Al, keep on going," when there was a fast food restaurant to the right, and he just smiled and nodded. He can act with the best of them.
It's great Al's out there hanging out with Billy Idol.
1-2 the count. Well, the 80s retro uniforms, it'll be the 84 uniforms. You saw the Phillies jersey that the Phillies hot pants girl was holding on to. Padres are going to wear the brown uniform tops. Those are some great uniforms. Swing and a miss. Gonzalez is down on strikes. One away.
Made me think of Randy Jones when you see those.
Dave Winfield, Gary Templeton, Ozzie Smith.
Yeah. Stretch played there for a while too. Willie McCovey.
There they are. There's the Phillies home uniforms they'll be wearing that day. Boy, Billy Idol looks good for his age, huh?
He really does, yeah.
Great hairdo going.
What would be Billy Idol's biggest song?
Boy, you're asking the wrong guy for that one. I think White Wedding.
Rebel Yell. Yeah, now I remember that one.
Yeah.
Dancing with Myself. Thank you to Jeff Halleckman, who is obviously a big 80s guy.
I didn't think he listened to anything outside of Springsteen.
I remember those. I know those songs. I just couldn't think of that they were his songs.
Well, that night, speaking of 80s music, the anthem will be performed by the Smithereens. Tommy Conwell will be performing some of his 1980s hits pregame.
Tommy Conwell had a band called the Rumblers, I think.
The Young Rumblers.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
His brother played for the Eagles. He was an offensive tackle.
Oh, not the band?
Joe Conwell.
Not the band.
He may have been their bouncer.
Well, it's going to be a great night. Foul ball, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes to McCann. To center field, Mayberry is there. Pretty neat to watch how he reacted to that ball. He had plenty of time. He froze, then turned his feet and was able to still come up with the play.
Yeah, he's pretty good out there. He got beaten on a ball the other day in the line drive to center. And you always talk about that ball hit right at an outfielder is the toughest one to judge, especially the center fielder.
With 2 outs, here's Freddie Freeman. He flied out his first time up. And he hits one in the air off the third base bag. Martinez is there, and he makes the catch. Look out. Oh, what a play by Michael Martinez. Not only to make the catch, but then hang on. Little bit of defense by the Phils to finish up this 3rd inning. Michael Martinez just happy to get out there and play. And he found the ball, watched it the entire way, got to the railing, made the catch, and then used the railing and then the floor to balance himself out. Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Jimmy Rollins leads off the third and swings at the first pitch from Derek Lowe. 1 away. And that'll bring Michael Martinez to the plate. A few moments after making a well of a play over at third. A lot of times bench players, Phillies fans or any baseball fan, they don't get to know a bench player for a while, particularly a new one. Well, some bench players play more than others. Michael Martinez doesn't get a lot of opportunities to play. He has recently because of all the injuries that have plagued the Phils.
And his versatility gets him into the games because he can play a lot of positions. Third base, for example, that's a position he hadn't played all year until the other day. Wilson Valdez, another guy. He can play him all over the place. He can even pitch him, I guess, if you had to.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Martinez. Shows bunt, takes it outside.
I think I saw that as one of the plays of the first half, right?
Valdez pitching?
Yeah.
That was one of the best moments of the first half.
That was a great game. As it turned out, it was quite a night.
Martinez back toward the box, off the glove of Lowe. Gonzalez has no play. 2 for 2 now for Martinez.
He don't want to be doing what he just did there either. Sliding head first in the first.
Well, time now for the Dodge Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please, Wheels, submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, name the only Atlanta Brave to be named to the '79 All-Star game.
Come on.
You don't know that one?
Well, there's got to be a
Charlie O'Gara, our cameraman up here, knows that one. So does unit Carl Graber.
Well, then they read the card.
Okay. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
I want to see the fans get that one, too. There's got to be a hook there about today. Who's here today or something.
John Smoltz is here.
Yeah, but that's too early for him.
Yeah, that's right.
Always love seeing Smoltz up here instead of down there on the field.
I always watch good pitching in this park when Smoltz is here.
He didn't like this park. He liked it. He liked it. He just didn't like to pitch in it.
In the dirt, McCann throws off balance to first, and Martinez is back ahead of the tag.
I think this place got in his head a little bit.
Well, it does that. There's no doubt about it. There's John Smoltz doing the game today on national television with Ernie Johnson.
He's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
No doubt about it.
Figure what he did as a starting pitcher, and then when they made him a closer. Wow.
And then back to being a dominant starting pitcher.
Right, and fought through some injuries.
He's Eckersley.
Yeah,
and he's probably better.
Yeah, he's Eckersley. That's a good point.
Derek Lowe did that too, but he's not in their same. I mean, he's very good.
Yeah,
with 162 wins. Well, look at the home. Look at the home numbers. 2.74 earned run average for the pitchers.
Well, the pitchers the Phillies have brought over here is Halladay, Lee, those kind of guys. They like it here.
Utley grounds it right side. It's through, a base hit. Martinez speeds around second. He'll easily get to third. And there's first and third with 1 out. Howard will have another opportunity just as he did in the first inning.
That's good base running there. Know where your outfielder is and get to third base, and the guy pulls the ball in the hole. See Michael Martinez, he knows exactly where Hayward is. He's pretty deep, plus the ball is dribbled out there. It's not hit real hard. No brainer first to third there.
And Martinez is safe at third, safe and secure with New York Life.
Yeah, as you said, Tom, another opportunity. And when runs are so hard to come by in this series, you just don't want to pass up your opportunities.
Howard grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his last time up, trying to give the Phillies the lead. Swing and a miss with a slider. It's 0-1.
They're in that double play defense again, too. And it worked for them last time up. It does give him a lot more room to shoot a ball through, but what they want here as much as anything is a fly ball.
0-2 the count. Howard with 71 runs batted in. He's been teetering with Prince Fielder on top of the leaderboard.
Throwing back-to-back changeups. That one way out of the strike zone. The one before that, some kind of lunge at it. That's another pitch you can hit into a double play or even be a strikeout pitch.
Fouls it away. It remains 1-2. Braves scored a run in the top of the second. Phillies tied it in the bottom of the second. Now here in the bottom of the third, trying to take the lead.
Well, he's just doing a lot of off-speed stuff to him right now. That may have been another changeup. It was. Threw a slider before that, 2 changeups. So 3 changeups in this at bat.
See, Howard leads the National League in go-ahead RBI. Ryan Ludwig of the Padres with 19.
Does that mean at any point during the game?
I think if they take the lead and that turns out to be it, then yeah.
So that would be the old game-winning RBI that they used to keep.
Yeah.
There he got a fastball there that was well off the plate.
The 2-2. Utley goes outside. No throw by McCann. That's a big deal. Now the double play is not in order. They may wind up walking Howard, but who knows?
They may. But you're right, Tom. That takes the double play away. And it does open up first base. And see, Chase sees that he can steal that easily, and he figures they're not going to throw through anyway.
Now a ground ball will give the Phils the lead. A line drive towards center field. That's a base hit. Martinez scores. Utley holds it third, and the Phillies have taken the lead. An RBI for Ryan Howard. It's 2-1 Phillies.
It was a good at bat. Really battled there because he fell behind in the count early, and he fought that pitch off. Chase Utley wanted to score really bad there, but Juan Samuels with only 1 out holds him. Here it is. It almost looked like a slider watching it from the replay there. And you see him, that swing of his where he fights a lot of pitches off, and that's what he did there.
Martinez did the right thing. He was back toward third just in case that ball was caught. He was going to tag and score. And if it dropped in like it did, then he was able to coast home.
Right. There's nothing else to do as a base runner there at third base except read that and go back and tag up. Because as you say, if it lands on the grass, you walk home. Now, he wouldn't have wanted to walk home as hard as Utley was coming behind you because he read it off the bat as a base hit.
Line drive, one hopper, booted by Ugla. Everybody's safe, and the Phillies get another run. Utley scores. It's 3-1 Phillies.
Oh, what a huge break. Take advantage of that. Because that's a double play ball, even though it was hit so hard. Look like it's going to be one of those heartbreaking double play balls, and Ugly, as Tom said, kicks it. I don't think it took a bad hop or anything. I think it was just hit really hard, and he misplays it. Let's see. Right on the nose on one hop. Yep, he let it get too close to his body. That's an error. But an RBI.
So Utley scores to make it 3-1. It is indeed E4 RBI for Ibanez, his 42nd of the year. And Ruiz takes outside. Think about the aggressiveness in that inning with Chase Utley stealing, making sure there was no double play opportunity with Howard up. And then he's able to score after the base hit by Howard. He stops at third, but he's able to score on that particular play.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that's Chase Utley, the baseball player, understanding that they looked like they were giving him that, and he took it. And it changes the complexion of the way you play your defense, all kinds of things.
That sinker came back on the outer half, according to Chris Guccione. Ruiz didn't think so. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies lead it 3-1 here in the bottom of the third. Pretty much the same type pitch, but it was just a little outside.
Making low throw a lot of pitches too, which is good on this very warm afternoon. We mentioned how his jersey was soaking wet early, and he's 67 right now.
2-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't know if you'd run here or not. Just whether or not you. This comes down to, are you more afraid of a strikeout double play or a grounded into?
Well, let's see. Neither runner really being held on. They don't go. And McCann can hold on. It's a foul ball, and it's 3-2.
And so they do not run.
Now, that doesn't mean they won't change their mind here.
Right. It just, with a sinker ball pitcher, a lot of times you're more afraid of the ground ball double play here than the strikeout double play. So you start your runner with 1 out. In that case, they did not start the runners.
4th full count today for Lowe, and that's part of why this will be his 70th pitch of the day. Off the hands, dribble towards the mound, and they go to second for the second out. Hey, Sunday, July 31st, when the Phillies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, there'll also be a tent event called Fans Feeding Families. We've been telling you all about it. It's an exclusive pregame party from 11:30 to 1:30. It includes a buffet menu, beer and soft drinks, appearances by Roy Halladay if the schedule permits, but if not, another Phillies player. That means if Roy's pitching that day, he won't be able to be there. You get tickets to the game plus your Fans Feeding Families pin. It's $75 and it's for a great cause. Go to Phillies.com/feeding families for more information.
Talk about your stories in the first half of this season. How about the Pittsburgh Pirates? If they had won last night, they would be in first place today.
But Wheels, they didn't.
They didn't. But think
they're
about
still, they're still close.
Even having a chance to be in first place at the All-Star break.
That division is up for grabs.
It sure is.
Nobody really wants to play 5 games above 500 for any long period of time.
Check out the attendance totals out there lately.
Well,
big time for the Pirates.
I had family members who were out in Pittsburgh last week, and they said it was jammed.
They've been drawing great.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count.
People have said that about the Pirates. Hey, I remember what it was like at one time when they would draw pretty well when they had good teams. Well, they haven't had a good team for a long time. Look at that.
And the Reds, who are a game under 500, they're only 3 out.
Look at the loss column. 3 teams.
And the Pirates lead at 5-1 over the Cubs in the top of the 5th.
So you hear the Pirates are coming to town doesn't mean W's.
Little outside, 2-2.
I hope it does. But you're not bringing a last place team in here, that's for sure.
Chopped towards second on the glove side, Ugla. And he throws out Brown. The side is retired. The Phillies, though, sent 7 men to the plate. They have taken the lead against Derek Lowe and the Braves. They leave a couple. We go to the top of the 4th. It's 3-1 Phils. love, like Avery's self-stick name badges that never curl or fall off. Who but W.B. Mason? Go to the fourth. Phillies lead at 3-1. 3 runs on 7 hits so far for the Phillies. Both teams have committed an error, and Dan Uggla leads it off for Atlanta. Takes the first pitch inside. A few more curveballs today for Cole Hamels than usual.
Well, the Braves a good fastball hitting ball club. You like to get them off balance when they're swinging, keep them off balance. Less power that way.
Uggla's first time up doubled against Hamels and then scored the 1 run that Atlanta has this afternoon. There's a good pitch. Got him. Boy, he was indecisive. That's because Hamels threw everything at him and then finally settled on the changeup for the strikeout. So 1 away.
Yeah, well, that cutter has been one of his main weapons as the ball comes in on him. Look like it just dipped down, too. Cole Hamels, a lot of confidence in his pitches these days. And again, he should be. All that experience that he has, he is definitely coming to his own. Just need a few more runs.
Well, and he won't pitch on Tuesday in Phoenix because he's pitching today. It's just a major league rule that whoever pitches today has to be replaced on the All-Star roster. But he's going and probably enjoying all the festivities. It's the first time in Phillies history that they have 3 pitchers going to the All-Star game.
Right. Quite an honor, and deservingly so, with all 3 of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and you think about where the Phillies would be without this staff right now. I mean, these guys have just been phenomenal to watch. And this series hasn't taken anything away from that.
No, they give the team a chance to win, and that's what it's all about. They go out there not pitching with any kind of jealousy, but trying to duplicate the guy in front of them, and it's worked so far this year.
Yeah, this whole duplication thing has really been successful.
Well, that's what you like, though. I mean, that opportunity to give your team a chance to win.
In this day and age, an earned run average of 2.96 for the starting staff.
That's getting it done. That's why they're the #1 in the National League.
And Halliday's been a big part of it. So is Hamels and, of course, Lee. It's 2-2 to Hayward.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, too, all those guys, they pitch inside, and they can get inside strikes. Being able to command the outside part of the plate makes it even better. There's an off-balance swing.
Hayward grounded out to second his first time up. He's 0 for 8 in the series. And that pitch just missed. It's 3-2. Now, we've talked about this before. All 3 pitchers, Halladay, Lee, and Hamels, are different. They just are. And just the way they approach things. But I would think that they each feed off what the other did, let's say, the day before or the night before. As Hayward pulls that one to the wall and right. And he'll get at least 2 out of it. And that's where he'll stop a 1-out double. But wouldn't you agree with that, Sarge, that they do feed off each other, particularly in a series like this, and how good they've been?
Yeah, and a big part of it is that they want the ball. They want to go out there to be able to show exactly what they can do. And you could tell all of them, though, are doing great because they keep you in the ball game, especially usually up to 7-8 innings or so. Each one, excuse me, Tom, I was going to say each one of those guys are able, to strike batters out, especially with men in scoring position or guys that are on. So that does take some pressure off of the defense.
Yeah, folks said today, it's a shame that neither starter has gotten a win the first couple of days of the series because the starters have been good for both teams. And I said, well, from a Phillies standpoint, didn't matter in game one because they won the game. Game two, Lee did everything. I mean, everything he could do to help them to a victory.
Oh, from the home run. And I didn't think a pitcher would hit a home run this year, but I guess you were absolutely right on it.
There's a strike, 3 called.
Well, he knew that, walked away. Tells me that he obviously looking for something else to actually take a ball and not swing. That's what I'm talking about, able to strike hitters out. Good pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Well, 2 away. Here's McLeod. Well, I had said that I thought Hamels would be the first pitcher to hit a home run this year.
Well, you were closer than I were.
Right, because you didn't think any of them would.
No, and again, although Cliff Lee thought that he would be able to, just by the way he was swinging in batting practice over the last few weeks.
I was changing my thoughts every time I saw him hit in BP, but I stayed with Hamels. I was wrong, but I still think he's going to go yard this year.
Okay.
1-0 pitch. Curve stays high. Pitcher spot is up next, so you can be a little extra careful with McLeod, but you'd love to leave Hayward at second and have Lowe lead off the 5th.
One of the reasons it's so difficult to hit in that A spot, especially runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Pitchers don't always go right at you. Usually it's got to be a pinch hitter. If you see that pitcher that's hitting behind you, you're going to get tough pitches to hit.
Well, there's ball 4, so they were being careful with McLeod. Well, yesterday, Sarge, this place went crazy when Cliff Lee did this.
Yeah, and the impressive thing was fouling off pitch after pitch. That is not a cheap home run, hitting it in one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. That would be a ball to be able to keep if he could have gotten that one back.
Derek Lowe singled his first time up, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, with each foul ball that Lee had yesterday, and that was a 10-pitch at bat. With each foul ball he had yesterday, the place got louder and louder.
Oh, boy. What a great feeling as a hitter, whether or not you're a pitcher or not, to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
To center field, Mayberry comes in under it, and Cole Hamels leaves a couple here in the 4th. So he gets his shutdown inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We played 3.5 with Phils on top 3-1. Grab some buds. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Mazda. Zoom, zoom. Last of the fourth, it's 3-1 Phillies. Another sellout here again today. Why not? It's been this way for the last couple of years. The place looks awesome today. Sarge, I know you were out at the Bud Light rooftop today doing Behind the Pinstripes with Scott Palmer, who had a very colorful shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
I might say.
Yeah, we had a real good show today. Bull was on there, the Fanatic on there.
Ryan Matson was up there showing how to throw a changeup. That was kind of neat.
There. Yeah.
Folks, if you've come to the ballpark and haven't ventured out toward the Bud Light rooftop, it is a great place even to sit and watch batting practice. And you kind of see everything that's going on. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is a nice view.
But you do need to bring some sunblock because the sun is you're wide open out there. There's John Mayberry, who had a double and an RBI his first time up. Strike, and it's 1-1.
Doing a pretty good job at making him get the ball up. That's what you want to do for that sinker that Derek Lowe throws. That's why when you look at him, his stats, you can just throw out of the window when he pitches against this club. He pitches with a lot of heart.
Mayberry lines one to left. McLeod going back. It's over his head, and then it skips right on past him. And Mayberry will have his second double of the day. Pretty good swing right there.
Boy, very quick on the inside part of the plate as that ball coming in. And young Mayberry's going to get better and better at that.
Well, speaking of guys with big hits, how about yesterday, Sarge? You and I were in the office with everybody else watching Derek Jeter go for his 3,000th. And how about getting it on a home run and a long one?
Boy, this guy's been a class act for a long, long time. Knows how to play the game. Clutch hitter. Good defensive player.
5 for 5 yesterday. Had the game-winning RBI as Hamels bunts that one foul. And you look at the top hitters in Yankee history, the all-time hits leaders. How about Jeter's the only one with 3,000 hits, and he's way ahead of Lou Gehrig.
That's unbelievable.
So pretty impressive day. Jeter was the first ball player and only the second overall, but the first one since Wade Boggs to hit a home run for his 3,000th hit. Nice bunt by Hamels, and Ugla just gets back to the bag. I think Cole's upset with himself that he didn't run hard all the way up the first base line after getting that bunt down. And he still nearly beat that tag back by Ugla.
Yeah, that's why, again, you never take anything for granted. Usually the pitchers are just hustling all the time. The one time that you don't, Derek Lowe really upset just because he was able to lay the ball down. And watch how just kind of nonchalant, he just throws it. If he's running, then he ends up being safe. You can't take things. That's when he breaks it down there some.
Well, now the infield is in with one out. You can see Cole's body language after he got back. You know, a lot of times pitchers, once they lay down the bunt, as that ball is hit through the drawn it infield and into center field, Mayberry scores. The Phillies lead it 4-1. Great job by Rollins to pick up his second hit of the day. And the RBI single brings home Mayberry. Keep on tacking on.
Well, you want to do that. You want to tack on. You know, and more importantly, too, when that infield is in, I mean, as a hitter, your eyes got to really get big simply because you know, I just got to make solid contact. Not right at that fielder, usually base hit and a ribby.
Michael Martinez has 2 hits today. Takes outside. His average up to 213, so he's finally over 200. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bullpen action. Corey Guerin is throwing for the Braves. We're mentioning about Hamels with that sacrifice bunt.
Yeah.
Most starting pitchers, that's just the way that all around baseball that they do it, and you know, where they bunt it and then they kind of keep their energy.
Well, that, you know what, it can be true, but for me, Tom, you got to run. You got to go through that bag there, then you can rest again in the dugout. For me, turned out to be okay. However, simply because J-Ro came up with that base hit to score the RBI. That's the most important thing, and being able to drive in your runs.
1-1 strike, the count to Martinez. Line drive, base hit it to center field. Martinez is 3 for 3.
Well, good way to get that average over that 200 mark. And boy, when you're not there and you see your average at $1 something, not feeling very good about yourself. But believe me, he's feeling pretty good right now.
Well, that's a career high 3 hits now for Martinez.
Well, right up the middle. We've talked about it before. A lot of hits up the middle as he shoots that line drive. No chance for J-Ro to get to third base. You can see because he's got to hesitate a little bit, make sure the ball isn't caught. Doing a good job, however, keeping those runners and pressure on the opposition.
Phillies have had a number of guys in scoring position today. They lead it 4-1. They already have 10 hits. And just 1 out here in the 4th. McCann will give it a look, but that's way back in the seats. It's 0-1. Good speed on the base paths. Martinez over at first. Just see his 3 hits today. As we said, it's a career high. His average up to 222. He's raised to 30 points today.
Well, base hits will raise that average, and when you're even, you even get it a little bit higher.
Towards shortstop on a hop. Gonzalez flips the second for 1. Ugla to first, just in time. Utley thought he beat that one. Again, Ugla did not make a crisp throw over to first, but the side is retired. Phillies get 1 more. They leave 1. It's on to the 5th here at Philadelphia. Grumpy MD Gregory House. Watch as he tackles moodiness, sarcasm, and medical mysteries, all at the same time. Catch 2 full hours of the critically acclaimed House tonight starting at 8 on PHL 17. 4-1 Phillies, top of the 5th. And the top of the order due up for Atlanta. Cole Hamels has a 3-run lead to work with. It'll be Jordan Schaefer, Alex Gonzalez, and Brian McCann. Schaefer tried to bunt back in the second with runners on first and third. Howard was able to make the play. It turned out to be an easy play. I guess if he would have reached on a bunt single, Freddie Gonzalez would have said good play, but because he butted it so hard, it turned out to be the last out of an inning with an extra run over at third. And I don't know where managers fall in that category, Sarge.
Well, I mean, that's part of his game, being able to bunt. However, you know, most managers are going to want you to go on and swing the bat. When you're an expert bunter, however, I mean, again, that's part of what they do. Though you got to make sure you have a sign to alert that runner that this is exactly what I'm going to do. Therefore, he gets a good jump, even if it is 2 outs.
Grounder right side, Utley to his left. Momentum carrying him to the bag. So 1 away. Charlie Manuel was waiting to put his lineup together today until Chase came in. Chase said he was fine, and he put him back in there again. He's played just about every day.
Yeah, pretty difficult to get him out of the lineup. One of those players wants to play every single day.
And it's good to have him playing every single day. I mean, It really is.
Always a threat to do something in the game to be able to make you win. That's what it's all about as a player.
No swing, says Mike Malinsky.
Yeah. Pretty emphatic. No.
.93 on that fastball, and it's 2-1. Little chopper to short. Rollins charges, flips on the run, 2 outs. Hey, get ready for the biggest night of the summer this Tuesday. The National League takes on the American League as the greatest players in baseball take center stage for the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. It begins at 8 p.m. on Fox. A number of guys are not able to play in that game. You know, from Derek Jeter to Alex Rodriguez to Chipper Jones to Placido Polanco to Mariano Rivera. So some guys who were thought to be borderline all-stars have made the team. Some who probably should have been on the team have been added,
which is a good thing.
Like Andrew McCutchen for the Pirates and Paul Konerko, who won the AL vote. Victorino's not going to be able to play, obviously, but he'll be out there. Cliff Lee will be able to appear. Roy Halladay threw a bullpen session today. He'll be able to pitch. Bruce Bochy has not declared who the starter is going to be. I would think that Jair Jurgens from the Braves, the fact that he has the most wins in the NL and leads in the ERA, would probably get the nod, but who knows. On the hands, that's a pop up towards shortstop. Rollins is there, makes the catch. The side is retired. 4 in a row set down by Hamels. He retires. The Braves in order here in the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th with the Phils on top by 3. Here's your chance of a lifetime. It's Phillies Fantasy Camp from the 18th of January till the 22nd of next year in Clearwater, Florida. The package includes hotel accommodations, practice with and instruction from baseball legends like the Sarge, Greg Luzinski, Jim Eisenreich, Mickey Morandini, and the commish Larry Anderson. There's a fantasy game versus the legends at Bright House Field. Get a Phillies uniform and so much more. Call 610-520-3400 and hurry, space is limited. Well, towels are being used every which way today.
Yeah, that will keep you a little cool.
Ryan Howard lifts it in the air to left center field. It'll stay in the yard. McLouth on the track makes the catch. So on the first pitch, Howard's retired to begin the bottom of the fifth. First time since May of 2010. It's 5 starts for Lowe that he's given up 4 runs against the Phillies. He's pitched well against the Phillies.
Yeah.
He had a no-hitter to the 7th inning the last time he faced them.
Well, when he's on the outside part of the plate, when he's getting ground balls, that's when he's at his best. Not one of those pitchers that can continually strike hitters out.
Ibanez to left center. And Jordan Schaefer makes the catch. Two outs for Carlos Ruiz. Carlos popped out and reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Well, the list of replacements continues, Sarge. In the All-Star game, Kevin Correa has been added for Cole Hamels. And he deserves it. He's won 11 games this year.
Yeah.
Pablo Sandoval, who has spent some time in the DL this year for the Giants, he's going to replace Jose Reyes. The National League needed another third baseman anyway because of Chipper Jones and Placido Polanco getting hurt. So Rowan will start at third. He wasn't even in the game 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then Sandoval will back him up. Chipper Jones is out for the next 3 weeks because he had surgery yesterday in Atlanta.
Yeah. It gives you an indication, too, though, once their doctor looked at his knee, was amazed that he was even able to play. I can't tell you how much pain he was in and just going out there on the field.
Swing and a miss, and Ruiz is down on strikes. McCann applies the tag. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. We head to the 6th. The All-Stars. Voted by the fans and making his second appearance, Placido Polanco becomes the first Phillies third baseman selected since 2002. Also making his second trip is Cole Hamels, who has put together the best first half of his career. He came back to the Phillies, and now Cliff Lee is going back for a third time in 4 seasons. He added to his Cy Young count last season and now making an 8th Midsummer Classic for Roy Halladay. These all-star performances are brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way.
Hi, Phillies fans. Just wanted to say thank you very much. Again, you showed why you're the greatest fans in baseball. Thank you for voting me in, being a two-time All-Star, and obviously going back for the second time with the final vote. Thanks to you guys, I'm going to my second All-Star game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play in it, but hopefully I'll be back on the field real soon.
Well, Shane Victorino was honored with the rest of his teammates prior to the start of the ball game today for making the All-Star team. Shane will indeed be out in Arizona, but he will not play in the game. You know, he really appreciated the fans getting behind him, and I think if you're Major League Baseball, I think they appreciated the fact he was part of the final vote, because out of all 5 of those guys, you know, no offense to Andre Ethier or folks like that, he probably was the most charismatic.
Oh, there's no doubt, you know, about it. Ethier probably well deserving as well. But just an honor to be on the team, whether or not you're voted in late by the fans. As talked about that ball going off of your leg, your foot. That is just not fun.
Freddie Freeman went right down to the ground after that ball hit him, and it hit him square. Carlos Ruiz was trying to help him on that. Let's watch it. Oh, that was his knee.
Yeah, usually that's that cutter that's coming in, and he hits that front knee, and he goes, you know, right down. That pain is awful sharp.
Well, Jeff Porter, who's the head athletic trainer for the Braves, is out there with Freddie Gonzalez, and it looks like he's okay. Boy, that got him good.
Yeah.
Carlos Ruiz and Cole Hamels gave Freeman an extra moment or two.
Could have maybe been something off speed. He got out in front and pounded it right in his leg. This guy's going to get better and better as a hitter. Started off very slow.
Pops it up. Foul territory. Martinez over toward the tarp, and he ran out of room. Probably thinking if that tarp wasn't there, if I got to the rail, I might have been able to make that catch.
Yeah, good effort, though. That's what he did. He ran over to the rail. That's what you want to do. Get there as soon as you can. Then you can locate that ball to be able to lean one way or the other. See how he gets over, looks down, kind of see exactly where he was, and then just ran out of room.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Freeman is down on strikes. 5 strikeouts for Hamels. And 1 away here in the top of the 6th.
Good pitch by Cole Hamels. We talked about the ability being able to pitch inside. That one off the plate. That's what you got to do, again, to be successful. You can't be afraid to throw that ball inside. And he does it, and at times he can get strikes in there.
Here's Uglo with 1 away. Change up, cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Ugla 1 for 2. Struck out his last time up. Hamels began the afternoon 3rd in the league in earned run average at 2.40. With his effort today, he's at 2.37. To right field. Dominic Brown stands his ground. 2 outs. Hamels has also retired the Braves in order twice this afternoon. Every time a Phillies pitcher retires the opposing team 1, 2, 3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. Everybody trying to keep cool today on a beautiful summer afternoon. Hayward takes off the outside corner. It's 1-0. Sarge, that cat's got your fan.
Boy, they come in handy. Had a couple up here. And have a tendency to disappear on you if you leave them too long. That's right. Well, you know, on a hot day, you know, I'm not saying they're taking them. They just want to use them.
You don't think you misplaced it?
It could have been done, too. That's why I had 2.
1-1 the count. 1-2.
And you're right. I have misplaced things from time to time.
Haven't we all? Well, yesterday we were walking around. It was photo day here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Which is a great event. And we were walking around. There were a couple of kids who had those fans. And I said, make sure you point those out to Sarge when you see them.
Yeah, and they did. As I had a little towel, it was pretty warm. Good for the fans, however.
1-2 pitch. Grounder back toward the middle. Knocked down by Hamels. Athletic enough to pick it up and flip underhand. And he retires the Braves in order. 7 in a row retired by Hamels. Another 1-2-3 inning. Takes us to the bottom of the 6th. Game for the Pennsylvania Lottery. You must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Buy Xfinity only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. And buy Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Last of the 6, Phillies lead at 4-1. A win today, and their lead going into the break would be at 3.5 over Atlanta.
Big. Huge.
Would also mean that the Braves have 4 more losses than the.
Start really looking at that toward the end on that loss column.
Dominic Brown leads it off against Derek Lowe, who begins the inning at 95 pitches. To center field. It's pretty well hit. Schaefer going back toward the warning track, reaches up and makes the grab.
Oh boy. They made an easy catch out of that, but that ball was slicing back. Did a good job on being able to catch that ball.
Well, speaking of defense, it's time for our Coors Light freeze cam. How about Michael Martinez on this play?
Getting over, keeping his balance, catching that ball right in the webbing. Look where his eyes are. Being able to catch that ball. Soft hands will do that for you. He balances himself. Little handstand.
Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frostbrewed. Coors Light. Well, now John Mayberry. Mayberry and Martinez have combined for 5 hits today, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Michael's 3 for 3, and Mayberry's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
Yep. Again, he has changed his batting stance. He's in a little bit lower crouch. Guess it allows him to see the ball a little bit better. Well, he'll get smarter on that slider. That's what they usually throw a lot of the big right-handed batters, especially from the right-handed pitcher. Well, it looks like a fastball coming in, and at the last minute, kind of darts away from the right-handed batter.
Well, that time it didn't dart.
Yeah, that's a fastball in that he threw to seamer.
Didn't have great velocity on it then.
Yeah, but again, though, with the movement and it coming inside, he started it off the plate. So if you swing, not going to be able to square that ball up.
Grounded to shortstop. Gonzalez a half step to his right. And there are 2 outs. And here comes Cole Hamels. He should get a nice round of applause. Well, the first half has been so much about the Phillies starting pitchers that it's only right that today's starter has allowed just 1 run through the first 6 in the final game before the break.
Well, this is why they wanted the pitchers lined up exactly the way it is when you're playing against the team that's in second place. You pitch your best guys against them.
I wonder the next time the Phillies face the Braves if they'll try to line up so Hansen, Jurgens, and Hudson, or Hansen, Jurgens, and Lowe face the Phillies instead of having Beachy pitch, let's say, that first game, or one of the games in the series.
Which he didn't pitch all that bad.
Didn't.
Tell you the truth, but again, it just depends where they are. Keep in mind too, though, a win is a win. Obviously, you like it against the team that you're chasing, but when you're trying to catch up, you're not going to fiddle around with different guys. You want them to be more exactly where they should be in that rotation. When you have those off days, that's when you can kind of put the guys where you want to. It's just like a guy pitching almost.
Hamels grounds it to short. And Gonzalez will easily throw him out. Side is retired. Phillies go down in order. 7 batters in a row retired by Derek Lowe. We go to the 7th.
number 91. Final game before the All-Star break. Verizon Wireless game summary. Braves with a 1-0 lead. Phillies with 4 unanswered runs. Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins with RBI hits, and Cole Hamels, he has really pitched well here this afternoon, and he's been mowing them down, Tom, the last few innings.
Yeah, first couple of nights, Wheels, or first couple of days, we saw different approaches by the starting pitchers. You know, they've gone inside so much the first couple of days. Hamels is going inside, but he's also living on the outer half of the plate, like there to Lugo, and Mayberry tracks it down for the first outs.
The ball is carrying today like it's summertime.
Yep.
He thought he had that all the way, and he did, but it kept going, kind of like the ball last inning that Ruiz hit. Here's John, playing it perfectly, though. He's got it off to the side, under control. Nice play. Or that Brown hit last inning. There it is. Nice play by John Mayberry. That thing just kept going, and the big part of the ballpark.
So 1 out. Here's Nate McLeod. He's 0 for 1. Walked his last time up. Brandon Hicks is on deck for the Braves.
Yeah, it didn't look like Lowe was going to be able to get through 6 innings today with all the base runners and pitches he thrown. Then he had an easy 5th and 6th. So he really saved their bullpen.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Cole did a nice job last time up, just pitching around this guy with two outs and that base open and the pitcher low on deck.
It's a good spot. He goes down and away toward the knees on the outer half. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to McLeod. There's Hicks. Pinch hit yesterday. Just called up to replace Chipper Jones on the roster. 1-2 pitch. Little looper. Foul territory. Third base side. Martinez makes the grab. 2 away. Good pitch. Got it in on his hands. Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They were to receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Well, 2 outs for Hamels. I mentioned that Hamels will not pitch in the All-Star game on Tuesday. And Charlie Manuel has not decided what the rotation is going to be for the opening series against the Mets next weekend. The second half's opening series. Vance Worley will go back in the rotation, and he pitched 7 shutout innings yesterday for Lehigh Valley. Anyway, the reason I say that is because this is pitch 101 from Hamels, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, they normally would.
Now it could be into the 9th inning because of the way his pitch count is.
Yeah, it just depends.
Here's the 0-2 pitch coming to Hicks. That had changeup written all over it, and he's down on strikes. The side is retired. 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings for Hamels. He's retired 10 in a row, and he is dealing right now. That is as good a pitch as you're going to see from Cole Hamels to wrap up the top of the 7th inning. God Bless America. Beautiful rendition here at the ballpark. Time now for the Dodge Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz Answer Wheels. Name the only Atlanta Brave to be named to the 1979 MLB All-Star Game. It was in Seattle. Does that help?
No. Trying to think of a hook because it wasn't Pendleton. Here's you know, it had to be somebody. I'm not saying it wasn't a quality player, but you know the Braves weren't very good back then. So you know they would have had one guy maybe.
It was his only ever All-Star appearance. Ever. He is going to be.
Sarge. Yeah. Sarge. Sorry, Sarge.
That's great.
Oh, man. Right.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, really? Well, you know, and I didn't mean to say that he wasn't a worthy selection. Oh, no, I hope he's not around.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find it if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Why did I have to embellish that one?
Oh, that was great. We appreciate you embellishing.
They weren't very good back then.
No, but he was a good player and should have been in more than one All-Star game.
He was a really good player, but that happened to a lot of outfielders. Gary Maddox never got an All-Star game, as good a player as he was. That happened to a lot of outfielders because there were so many of them.
Oh,
and
boy.
a team had to be represented.
Right.
And still does. So
I wish he was in here.
Oh, man, I'm glad he's not.
Well, Corey Garrett, as you just saw, takes over as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Phillies lead it 4-1 on a beautiful summer afternoon here in South Philadelphia.
Very deserving All-Star selection.
That's right. Well, there is Dickie Collinson, who's one of the Phillies clubhouse guys. He's the bat boy today, and he has been the last couple of days. Wheels. Dickie does a great job.
Yeah.
Now he's taken over today for Rob DiClemente, who's the normal Phillies bat boy. Rob is recovering from some surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's doing great, and he's ready to get back, and Dickie is ready for Rob to be back because he's tired of looking for the Manny Mota stick.
There you go. He just found it. Those guys do a great job, Dickie and Rob. And Dickie's in great shape, too, because he runs so many errands for Sarge. He's like Sarge's valet.
Well, at least you do something about Sarge, Wheels.
Oh, I can't. Well, I don't remember him being the All-Star in '79.
Yep.
Well, you gave me enough hints.
Well, and I had to be careful of the hints I gave you.
Well, when you said he's really going to, I thought, oh, my God, I know this guy.
Jimmy Rollins leads it off. And he takes a strike. No balls at 2 strikes.
And he could be in the area.
Yeah. He's definitely in the area. He's looking for his fans.
He's ready to go fishing.
To right field. Hayward on the run. That's going to drop in front of him. Rollins aboard. He's got another hit today. Rollins has 3 hits in this ball game. Be nice to tack on some more runs here in the 7th.
Jimmy's really been swinging the bat well for about a week to 10 days.
There he is. He's not happy. Oh man, he's hurt. You know the Fanatics hurt. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Sarge, I knew it was you. I knew it was you.
Sorry, man. What can I tell you?
Everybody's all concerned about him too.
He's tough.
Michael Martinez is 3 for 3. Rollins got a great jump. Martinez slices it the opposite way. Nate McLouth is there to make the catch. Yeah, there's one away.
Yeah, Jimmy was stealing that bag right there. They're not playing any hit and run. It didn't look like. It looked like a steal. And you know, Martinez, the young player, he didn't realize that Jimmy was running, had that bag stolen, should have taken that pitch. Oh no.
Sarge has found himself back into the booth. Boy, if looks could kill. Even with the smile on his face. Sarge, how about him not knowing that you were the Braves representative?
I got it right finally.
20 home runs at the break he had, Wheels. And he finished. Throw over to first.
You know what I really feel bad about was when I said, well, back in those days the Braves weren't that good, so they had to have a representative.
Well, no, why? How could you say that?
I didn't realize it was
that's
you.
Hitting below the belt right there. I can't believe that.
I didn't mean it the way it sounded.
Oh, well, it sounded awful.
And then when I realized it was you, it was, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Well, you think I wasn't listening?
All right, so break it down for us, Sarge. 20 home runs at the break. Very deserving of that All-Star honor.
Yep.
But you didn't play a lot in the second half. You only finished with 27 overall.
I only finished with 27 home runs, and I want to say 197 hits or something like that. Didn't even get 200 hits. So,
jeez. What a letdown. Chopper over the head of Freeman. Rollins on his way to third. He'll get there, and Utley has his second hit of the day, first and third with one out.
So what's a bad year about 197 hits?
Well, I know, though, but when you're up to that good of a start, you would think you'd hit at least 30-something home runs and be well into 100 or so RBIs.
Particularly at the launching pad.
Right.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, that's something that you're not really proud of, but proud of actually going there, and it was in Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't, but I was told it was.
Right.
Didn't help at all with the answer, though.
Well, thanks a lot, though. I really appreciate that.
If it had been when you played for Seattle and you were in Seattle, that'd have been different.
Well, usually you're pretty good.
Stunning.
Yeah,
you're pretty good too at all the trivia and so on. I mean, just got to tell you though, Will, the first thing that goes is the mind.
I really need. Why don't you go on your All-Star break? go fishing and catch some later, man.
First and third with one out. Ryan Howard is the batter.
Get him out of here.
Inside, one ball and no strikes.
That is bad.
You're sitting there trying to. What's the connection?
I knew there had to be something. I know John DeSangro, and that almost hit a pant leg.
There goes Utley. He got a great jump. That ball nearly hit Howard again. It's 2-0.
Yeah, they have something on this guy that they can run. They're picking something up on. They had something on tape or in a scouting report, because think of the way Jimmy ran right away, and Chase couldn't wait to run here. Now this will probably result in an intentional walk, you would think. There he goes. He must do something and come right to the plate. And they saw it. They see it and know it's going to happen.
Well, now it'll be an intentional pass to Ryan Howard. So Ibanez will bat with the bases loaded.
And Chase Utley knows that if he runs there, that it's probably going to take the bat out of Howard's hands. But you know what? Ibanez has been swinging pretty well lately, so let him go get him.
And particularly against a right-hander. There's no lefty that's up and loosening for the Braves. They've used their lefties the first 2 days of this series.
Yeah, in this game right now, you can tell they're not going to use all of them, or he would have had Freddie would have probably had Sherrill out, because this would be the point in the game he would come in.
So bases loaded for Raul Ibanez with one out here in the seventh.
So even with all the off days coming, some of those guys could be unavailable today. Finally.
Ibanez does have an RBI today, and he hits it hard through the hole on the right side. Rollins will score. Here comes Utley right on his tail. The throw way offline. It's a two-run single for Ibanez, and it's 6-1 Phillies.
That's just an enormous hit to get this game open a little bit now to a 5-run game. And good job by Raul. You know, as I said, Chase Utley knows if he steals second that Howard's not going to hit, but Ibanez is swinging the bat great. As Tom mentioned, there's no left-hander in the bullpen, so go get him. And the guy threw the ground ball that he wanted to throw, but Ibanez hit it hard, found a hole.
(6-1) Phillies. Here's Carlos Ruiz, 0 for 3. And he delivers a strike.
Nobody up in the Phillies bullpen, so they're looking at Hamels for at least one more.
Off the glove of McCann, and both runners will move up. That should be a wild pitch.
Yeah, McCann did not, as good a catcher as he is, and the way he battles back there and shifts, he didn't shift on that. He tried to catch it and just missed it. But as you said, it probably will be a wild pitch because it was so far outside, and it should be. But it's a play that a guy like McCann, he's going to block that ball a lot of times, but you know his head might not be in it right now. 6-1.
Well, they'll play the infield in with Ruiz up. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Started that slider right at Carlos, and it didn't break totally.
And Carlos gets hit a lot, and he almost got another one.
That'll be a good spot if Ruiz walks to get Brown another chance against the right-hander, whose ball is not sinking the way they would expect it to sink. Coming from the side like that.
Well, he's throwing some ground balls in this inning, and the Phillies have found some holes. And you know they would really 2 more right here would be sweet.
3-1 pitch to Carlos. Outside ball 4. The bases are loaded.
And you notice Freddie Gonzalez is. I'm not saying he's running the flag up the pole right now, but they're going to finally go to the bullpen. But they're not playing this game the way they have the first 2 when they had all hands on deck available. And now Roger McDowell will go to the pen and get somebody up. You know, the first 2 games of the series, though, as it got into these innings, those left-handers were lined up.
Looked like it was Scott Proctor that was starting to stretch.
Yeah, that just, you know, now the Phillies have opened it up a little bit too. They're not going to play it that way.
It is Proctor that's going to start to throw.
You can learn a lot about who's available in a team's bullpen that you know a lot when you get to this point and those guys are not up.
Dominic Brown batting with the bases loaded. The Phillies lead it by 5. And he takes a strike on the inside corner. Howard over at third. Ibanez at second. Ruiz at first. Phillies have scored 2 already today in this inning.
Yeah,
they have 6 runs on 13 hits.
They can just put it away right now if they can get a couple more. This guy's just trying to throw sinkers and change ups to the outside part of the plate and hope Dominic Brown will roll one over and end the inning.
Well, the rally cap came at the right time.
Arizona bound, the Fanatic.
Yeah. Well, Major League Baseball's greatest mascot. He's got to be at the All-Star game, right?
Amen. I'll give him a few swings in the home run hitting contest.
Dave Murray's on deck. Dominic Brown is going to look for a pitch with a 3-1 and the bases loaded.
All right, this guy's all over the place right now, so you don't want to get yourself out.
Grounder left side over the head of Lugo. 1 run scores. Here comes Ibanez. He'll score a 2-run opposite field ground ball base hit for Brown, and the Phillies have busted this baby wide open. It's 8-1 here in the 7th.
Yeah, that's sweet. They get the third baseman up because Brown can run, and just like an old AstroTurf hop right over his head. And Kieran not able to do the job here in this inning. As Tom says, they busted it open. See, he's up. Well, he wasn't up that much, but he's about right a step behind the bag maybe, and it chops right over his head.
And that's going to be it for Guerin. Freddie Gonzalez out to the mound. He'll bring in Scott Proctor. The Phillies have put 4 runs on the board here in the 7th. The Fanatics waving goodbye. So is everybody else. Oh, this is a good run right now for the Phillies. They have 8 runs on 14 hits. Proctor's next up to face John Mayberry. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen, with the Phillies leading at 8-1 in the 7th. A high water mark for victories before the All-Star break, matching 93. That means that the second half is going to be pretty exciting for this ball club. So log on to Phillies.com right now and see what's available for some of the upcoming games against the Padres, the Pirates. And don't forget, too, there are always standing room only tickets that are on sale prior to each ball game here at Citizens Bank Park. Again, go to Phillies.com and see what's up for the second half. You see that Phillies with 56 wins. That ties the 76 team with victories for the All-Star break, and they need one more to match 93. Magical year 93. Here's John Mayberry, the 8th man to bat in this inning. He'll face Scott Proctor with the Phillies up 8-1.
Proctor, the guy came in the other night in his 22nd game and threw the home run ball that Ibanez hit into the right field seats and turned his place into bedlam.
Threw the pitch, heard the crack, and walked right off the mound. He didn't even watch it land.
No, he knew where that was headed.
Now the mock tomahawk chop cheer is going right now.
Who got that started?
I think the big green guy may have.
Well, it's nice you can win this series, and you know they're on their way to it. That hit by Dominic Brown really was big. Braves don't quit. You know they're a good team, but you know they obviously have some. Everybody, this happens to teams. You know, where you have to use certain guys, and you hope you can get away with it because some aren't available, and that's what's happened to them here this afternoon. And the Phillies haven't put the game away, but they've done a pretty good job of distancing themselves from them.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Mayberry. Lines that one down the left field line. It's going to be a fair ball as it drops in. Ruiz scores. Here comes Brown. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate by Gonzalez. Not in time. A 2-run double for Mayberry. It's his 3rd double of the day. It's 10-1 Phillies. Boy, have a day, John Mayberry.
Yeah, really. And he hit a breaking ball there, too. It looked like a curveball, and he hit off the end of the bat a little bit, but hooked it away from McLeod. So watch his swing. Almost one-handed because it was away and slow, and lands fair, and everything's going right for him right now.
That's 15 hits now for the Phillies. 10 runs on 15 hits. Mayberry has 3 of them. All 3 are doubles. He has 3 RBIs.
Yeah, they're throwing a little statement on this one.
There's Hamels, the 9th man to bat in this inning, and still 1 man out. Rollins, who started the rally, is in the on-deck circle, getting a chance to bat again.
And normally you take Hamels out of this game, but you know he's going to be a while till he pitches again, so they want him to at least go 1 more, I guess. Some people thought that Hamels might be the first Phillies pitcher to hit a home run this year. Turned out to be Lee.
I thought he was, just from reputation, but boy,
Yeah.
Cliff Lee, he was coming on strong.
Yeah, and he hit a wall ball, and he hit one to dead center too earlier. So he was showing that he might be the guy to do it, and he did.
Hamels down looking, 2 outs. Rollins is 3 for 4 today with an RBI and a run scored. His run scored came in this inning.
You're going to look at this game and think, well, Hamels, you know, he had a big lead. He won the game. He pitched really, really well here today. Early in the game when the Braves were in it, and then the last 3 innings, he's put them down in order.
That in its own right is a pretty good statement. You know, nothing against the Braves pitchers, but you know, the Phillies starters in this series, you think about it, 2 runs by Halladay, 1 run by Lee, and 1 run so far by Hamels.
Well, that's why you hope if this team can get the postseason play that they can be strong in a series because of those three guys. And then, you mentioned Oswalt hopefully will be back.
Right.
Joe Blanton could be back. Vance Worley has been very impressive. So, you're hoping you have a lot of pitching at some point.
There you go, Wheels. 4 runs allowed so far in this series in 22 innings.
Well, it's pretty good.
Only 12 hits. Fly ball straight away center field. That should do it for the inning. Jordan Schaefer waits, puts it away. The inning is over, but it was a big one for the Phillies. They sent 10 men to the plate, and in the inning they scored 6 runs. What an exclamation point. They lead it by 9 as we go to the 8th. Low office product prices by the Quality Plus Sports Stores and by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Now we start the 8th. The Phillies lead at 10-1, and Cole Hamels is firing strikes. There is bullpen action. Kyle Kendrick is up and throwing along with, I think it's Perez. And it's 0-2 to Schaefer.
Well, how about the job he did this weekend?
He left those 2 appearances. Everybody said, who the heck is that guy?
I've been looking for a second left-hander, and talking to Charlie about him before the game, he says, I hope I found one. 32-year-old Juan Perez. And Kyle Kendrick out there, as Tom said, what a job Perez did in the 2 games Friday and Saturday, picking up, 5 strikeouts.
Yep. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Schaefer. 0 for 3 today.
He may even have a pitch idea right now on Hamels. If he were to get into an inning where he gets into some trouble, they're going to have guys ready to bring somebody in right away. If he can have a clean inning, get out of here quickly, get him through 8.
Fly ball, shallow left center field. John Mayberry glides under it. 1 away. Well, Wheels, we saw Billy Idol earlier, and there he is again.
Yeah.
And he's performing in between innings.
That's one of those songs we were told he sang.
Dancing with myself.
That's what he's doing right now, but he's going to have company.
He's not only going to have company, he's going to get himself soaked.
That was funny.
I'll tell you what, Matt Mailer is playing the role of Billy Idol.
He's good.
And you want to talk about somebody who settles into whatever role he's playing. Matt Mailer is one of those guys that settles into whatever role he's playing, whether he's doing the Irish jig out of the field, he's impersonating an umpire or what.
He's funny, boy. He can dance.
Very
too,
talented. Look at him.
You're right, though.
1-1.
He can do any role.
Anything. Anything.
And the crazier, the better.
He showed up at the ballpark today, and I saw him walking in the hallway. He hadn't dressed yet. He was just wearing his street clothes with that hairdo. I mean, it was funny. Oh, Martinez picks that one on the backhand. I wasn't sure if he was indecisive or what. Maybe there was a combination of both, but he certainly was athletic. 2 outs.
I think or what applies. But it was a heck of a play. It's a tough hop to read because he's way back, and now he wanted to get it on the first hop so it wouldn't play him, and he did.
He's made a nice play on a pop-up. He's got 3 hits, and then he makes that pick right there.
Great time to get Brian McCann out of the game. You could see catching that last inning. It was taking its toll on him.
So David Ross will pinch hit. Ross has had a good year. He's hitting .302 as the backup catcher with 4 home runs and 14 runs batted in.
He's a real good backup catcher for them, and he's been catching a lot of Tim Hudson's games lately. He has some power, and he evidently is a good clubhouse guy.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hamels trying to join Roy Halladay, Jair Jurgens, who's won 12 games, but Kevin Correa with 11 victories before the All-Star break. Jurgens has 12. Correa and Halladay have 11. Hamels has 10. Hansen has 10. Gallardo has 10.
Cole's got a pretty good shot at it. There's Brian McCann. That's enough for today. He'll be headed to the All-Star game, be the starting catcher. Maybe catch his guy.
Yeah, the American League has announced who their starting pitcher will be. It's going to be Jared Weaver from the LA Angels of Anaheim. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch from Hamels. Hit foul out toward the Hall of Fame club to our right. See, now Matt Mailer, if he was going to impersonate the Fanatic, well, the head might be different.
Matt Mailer is wired.
To left field. Ibanez going back toward the warning track, toward the wall. He jumps. Did he get it? He got it. Yes, he did. Raul Ibanez went over the wall to pull that one back. What a way to finish up the 8th inning. 13 in a row retired by Cole Hamels. And the Phillies certainly have played some pretty strong defense in the final game before the All-Star break. He did everything right. He got back to the wall, jumped, and then pulled it off the top of the fence. That's some pretty impressive stuff right there to Rob Ross of an extra base hit. purchase a limited edition Fans Feeding Families pin, which is on sale now for $5 at the Majestic Clubhouse store and newsstands at Citizens Bank Park. Go to Phillies.com/feedingfamilies for more information. Well, it's been a great day here at the ballpark. Phillies with 10 runs on 15 hits. And Cole Hamels has held the Braves to just 3 hits and a run.
Yeah, Martinez had a heck of a day and made a tremendous catch on a foul ball hit by Freddie Freeman early in the game. Three hits.
He's raised his average 28 points to 220.
Doesn't sound like much, but guys don't like hitting under 200. Good play by Raul Ibanez, as Tom described. He did everything perfectly. Had the hand out just in case that wall snuck up on him, so he wouldn't bang his shoulder into it, and he wouldn't be able to jump that high.
Martinez lines one to right center field. That's it for another hit. A 4-hit day. It's a career high for Michael Martinez. Well, that's a heck of a way to go into the All-Star break for a kid who was hitting 192 when the day began. As we said, he doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, so it's difficult to raise that batting average at this point in the year.
He's a switch hitter. All his hits left-handed. We've seen all right-handed pitching here today, and played his position well. He's had a nice ball game.
There's Placido Polanco off today. Will not participate in the All-Star game. Will be out there for the festivities. How about Martinez has raised his average to 229?
Polanco will not turn into Wally Pipp after today.
No.
It's like Kyle Kendrick's going to get the 9th inning.
Yeah, Perez is sat down. Kendrick was throwing at the beginning of this inning. Utley lines one to right center. Hayward makes a nice grab as it hangs up there for him. And Martinez gets back to first.
Well, Cole Hamels, what can you say? This guy is just such a good pitcher. One of the best in Major League Baseball, and has been all season long. Just went after them today with his fastball, his cutter, his changeup. Was in total command of this game. The Braves bled a run off him and on a double, got him over, got him in, and that's a great changeup there for a strikeout. And solid 8 innings for Cole Hamels, who deserves to be an All-Star, and the Phillies are probably just as happy that he'll go out there and watch it.
Here's Howard, who's 1 for 3.
We can go over the left-handed pitchers in this sport right now, and you're hard-pressed to find many better than Cole Hamels.
Yeah, you got Cole Hamels and Cliff Lee. That's where it starts.
Yeah, and it's in the American League. You know, you think about Sabathia right away.
One and one the count to Howard.
Braves really, as players right now, their heads are down. You know, they're thinking, come in here, maybe sweep the Phillies, or at least win 2 out of 3, and the Phillies are going to win 2 out of 3. It would appear, and win another series, and they've been on a roll winning series. They have had a chance to sweep a few, and have lost the 3rd game of the series, but they keep winning 2 out of 3. You win 2 out of 3. You got a heck of a chance to keep playing when the season's over.
Still 2 more series to go against the Atlanta Braves. This is game number 12 on the schedule, so we'll see all these faces again a couple more times.
Well, and they don't want those 3 games to mean anything at the end of the year either, because they are in Atlanta.
That's
the final 3 games of the season. And last year they played the final 3 games of the season. They didn't mean anything to the Phillies. It meant the world to the Braves.
Line drive, base hit for Howard. He got after that inside pitch. But for Howard, his 2nd hit of the day. He's 2 for 4. 17 hits now for the Phillies. Well, the post All-Star break schedule for the Phillies, they have 7 more road games than home games. They've done so well here at home this year. In fact, with today's game, if they win, they'd be 34 and 15 at home. That's fantastic. On the road, they're 23 and 19, and they've got, 6 games left against the Braves, 3 on the road, 7 games left against the Giants, 4 in San Francisco. They play the Brewers on the road.
They got 4 in Cincinnati. They have 4 in San Francisco. They have 4 in Milwaukee. Those are 12 road games that will, you know, they're going to be playing good teams, you would think. Who knows if things change by the time you go play somebody, but right now you're going to be playing good teams. Phillies, by the way, their season high is 18, and they got that the other night at Florida in that 14-2 game. Phillies are doing what you really have to do, though, and that's win at home, and their home record's outstanding. They're going to be 34-15 if they win this game here today. $19 games over 500 at home. A lot of it, this great fan support they get here. You know, the electricity in this ballpark every game, even you come out here flat the way they did today, this crowd will get you into it a lot of times, and it's just a great place to play.
Just a couple of moments even this weekend. Yesterday when Cliff Lee fouled off all those pitches and how the crowd got into it more and more with each foul ball, and then the home run, the place was just unbelievable.
Nuts,
after the 1 hour 54-minute rain delay on Friday, nobody had left.
Right.
That was a long rain delay.
Long rain delay.
And you could still feel the energy even when Ibanez was up in extra innings on Friday.
There's been a lot of energy here today, and you know, now that they've broken it open a little bit, people can actually sit back and not have their bellies burning for a change. It's kind of nice, especially against a team as good as Atlanta.
Raul lines it to right field. Is it high enough? It is a 3-run home run for Ibanez. Boy, you talk about putting a bow on it. Raul Ibanez has not only helped put a bow on this ball game with his defense and his offense, but he may have just put a bow on this series.
And he got Proctor again, and that time he got him on a breaking ball, it looked like, and hit it almost as hard as he hit the one Friday night. That thing was out in a hurry. Hit a fastball middle in the other night. That's a hanging breaking ball, and bam, out really quick. Line drive home run. Very similar spot where the ball landed the other night.
6 RBIs for Ibanez, one shy of his career high. Jerry Lutz of Reading, Pennsylvania, you've just won $100 courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot, and the Phillies lead it 13-1.
They just put a bow on it now, and there's not much they can do. Roger McDowell and Freddie Gonzalez would look on and say, well, we're not going to use any more pitchers.
1-2 the count to Ruiz. It's 2-2 to Carlos. 13 runs, a season high, matching 18 hits.
Yeah, the Phillies are going to the All-Star break with a 4-game lead in the loss column, which is nice.
Well, so much for 4 straight extra inning games too. They've never done that before. They're not going to do it here.
Got that over with. They've never done that in the regular season?
Nope.
They did in the playoffs against Houston.
That's a good point. I forgot all about that.
I'll never forget that.
How do you forget that?
4 straight extra inning games.
Dominic Brown's on deck. I'm going to talk about a total team effort today offensively. Ruiz down the right field line. That's a fair ball going to the corner. And this is a season high in hits now. 19 hits for the Phillies.
Yeah, they certainly. It's not this easy, but you know, they're really taking advantage of some guys coming out of the pen right now and hitting them. And I think they're finally going to get another pitcher up. They are. You know, Proctor's trying to take one for the club right now, but he still needs 2 more outs.
Well, it's Linebrink who's starting to throw in the pen. They're going to walk Dominic Brown intentionally. Is that what they just know? I saw that David Ross look over, and then Freddie Gonzalez nodded yes.
No, we don't need any more base runners.
Left side, pass Lugo. Dominic Brown's peppering that left side. Over to third goes Ruiz.
Doesn't matter right now where they hit him. Yep. One of those things.
Another hit for the Phillies. Third hit of the day for Dominic Brown. That's 20 hits for the Phillies. 13 runs on 20 hits.
Outstanding way to go into 4 days off. Huh?
There's some guys that probably don't want the time off. They're starting to hit a little bit of a stride here.
Yeah,
but they'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Mayberry has 3 doubles today. 3 RBIs. July of 2009, 21 hits against the Reds. Well, there's only 1 out. They could match that.
That was a fireworks game here that night, and they had some fireworks going.
Grounder left side. Lugo flags it down. There's one. Uggla's throw to first is off the glove of Freeman. Another run scores. 14-1 Phillies. Give an RBI to John Mayberry, his 4th of the day. And Ross Gloat will pinch hit, so Cole Hamels' afternoon is complete. You know, the Phillies scored 14 runs on 20 hits today. Their offense was a big part of this ball game, but Cole Hamels was just outstanding this afternoon. I mean, so good.
And that game was close, and you know, Derek Lowe was. They were hitting Derek Lowe a little bit, but they weren't scoring that many runs off him.
It's 4-1 going into the 7th.
Yep, and they were working hard to score runs off him.
That ball got right on by David Ross.
And Cole Hamels was right there and just kept it close.
So Mayberry goes to second. It's a wild pitch to Scott Proctor. Hamels finished the day. He retired 13 consecutive batters. He hadn't allowed a hit since the 4th. That was a double by Jason Hayward. He threw he had 30 batters he faced today. 21 first pitch strikes.
That's what he's been all year. Think about how well that guy has pitched. He has been so consistent.
Gloat, towering fly ball to right field, playable for Hayward. It's way up there, and Hayward makes the catch on the track, and the inning comes to a close. The Phillies, well, they kept the foot on the throttle. They scored four more. Raul Ibanez, a 3-run home run. We go to the 9th here in Philadelphia. done today. Look at those numbers. I mean, look at up and down. Carlos Ruiz and Cole Hamels, the only guys with less than 2 hits today. I mean, look at all the runs. The Phillies have 14 runs on 20 hits. You got a career high 4 hits for Michael Martinez. You have a career high 3 doubles in one game for John Mayberry. Ibanez, 6 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So he's accounted for 8 runs all by himself. So it's been a very impressive day today, and Kyle Kendrick will wrap it up, hopefully, for the Phillies here in the top of the 9th. He's on to pitch for Cole Hamels.
And look at the way the Phillies have closed out here in the first half. As you look at Kyle Kendrick, they lost 2 out of 3 to Seattle, and that was a tough series. You know, with Kendrick losing that difficult Sunday afternoon, or Cole losing that difficult Sunday afternoon game. Since that time, 6 straight series they've won 2 out of 3. 6 straight series, 2 out of 3. And that's a great way to play baseball.
Absolutely. Freddie Freeman starts the 9th with a single to right, so that's his first hit of the day. Second hit of the series for Freeman. There's Dan Uggla. Uggla doubled and scored the only run for the Braves, who led it 1-0, but the Phillies have scored 14 unanswered. Fly ball left field. Ibanez over, not deep. So 1 away, and here's Jason Hayward. He's 1 for 3. Phillies will begin the second half on the road. They have 3 in New York against the Mets next weekend. And then they have 3 in Chicago before they come home and take on the Padres and the Giants, and then the Pirates. A long homestand. In fact, it's the longest homestand the Phillies have left this year.
You figure last year at the break they had 47 wins.
Right, they were down in the division.
Right, to the Braves. They were 4.5 out in 3rd place. And this year they're going to have 57 wins. And they came out of the All-Star break last year and lost 6 out of 8.
0-2 the count to Hayward.
And then went on their customary tear in the second half after that. And, you know, they've gotten themselves to the point this year where, you know, you want to keep playing well, but you don't have to go quite as hard as you did in that second half. You know, you want to win a lot of games, but it's not as mandatory.
The 0-2 to Hayward. Just missed. He tried to backdoor that one. It's 1-2. Well, the way it lays out in the second half, the Mets for 3, the Cubs for 3, and then Phillies are home to take on the Padres, the Giants, and the Pirates for a long homestand. As we said, it's 10 games. And then they go on the road as Hayward's down swinging, 2 outs. 7th strikeout today for Phillies pitching. Julio Lugo's the batter with 2 outs and a runner at first. Freeman takes his lead. Lugo puts it toward the middle. Diving stop. Rollins flips to second. What a way to finish up the first half. The Phillies played very good defense today after the first couple of innings, and they finish off the first half with a dramatic statement and a 14-1 win over the Atlanta Braves. They've taken 2 of 3 from Atlanta, and Jimmy Rollins finishes off the first half by nailing Freddie Freeman. Chase Utley turned into a first baseman on that play, and this is some really good defense right there by J-Roll. Well, it has been a celebration today for the Phillies as they wrap up their first half. The Phillies offense, for the second time in a week, is our Chevrolet Players of the Game with 14 runs on 20 hits. The 57 wins the Phillies have picked up in this first half, as we mentioned earlier, matches the franchise record for victories before the All-Star break, and the lead in the division is now at 3.5. And in the loss column, the Phillies have are 4 ahead of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, our WB Mason deliveries of the game. How about your guy in the 8-hole having a day like John Mayberry Jr. had? 3 doubles. That's his first one, and that tied the game. A 2-out double down the left field line. Then he hooks his breaking ball down the line, knocks in a couple more. And Michael Martinez, what a game he had. Charlie had him batting second today, and he picks up a career-high 4 hits, all singles, all from the left side. He scored a couple of runs and just did a tremendous job, made some good defensive plays at third base. One of them a foul ball where he bent over and almost went into the camera well over there. Those are our WB Mason deliveries of the game.
So the Phillies win it 14-1. A great first half, and Charlie Manuel is down on the field to chat with Sarge. Sarge, take it away.
Hey, guys, thanks a lot. Charlie Ball Club really came about driving the balls really the way that you want them to do. I almost hate that the half is over, don't you?
Yeah, you know, Sarge, I didn't want the day to end, really, if you want to know the truth. But anyway, yeah, we had a good game today, and we had some guys like John Mayberry, Martinez, Dominique Brown. I mean, you're like, this game definitely should kind of inspire these guys and help them along. That was a big game for us. Hamels did a good job. We took 2 out of 3, and you know, we're going into the break, and hopefully we can get all of our players well and back, and we're going to have a big second half.
Yeah, speaking of Hamels and also Holiday and Lee, you had that pitching staff set up exactly the way you wanted.
Yeah, Sarge, you know when you got starting pitching like that, the game, they're going to hold you in the game, and anytime we can get some runs and start adding on, I think you know how that is. I mean, you're like, we can generate some offense more that way too when everybody gets in the flow of things.
How about tying the record here for wins here before the All-Star break?
That's good. You know, like I give out all the credit in the world to the players and everything because they're the ones that's playing the game, Sarge. They're the ones that puts it on the board. But at the same time, you know, like we want to go to the World Series, of course. That's our ultimate goal. And, you know, like in each day, in each game we win, we're taking a step toward it.
Last question there. How about Mr. Perez and the job he did under the circumstances and coming in and pitching?
Absolutely unreal, Sarge. You know, like when you think about it, I put him in there yesterday just to kind of see if he was still real. I was going to put him in there today, but once we scored some runs, Kendrick needs some work. So I figured that, you know, like Doobie and I figured that, you know, like we were to give him a rest today.
Well, have a nice All-Star break, continued success, and for a manager to get the best ability out of the players, Charlie, that's what it's all about.
Thank you, Sarge. I appreciate that. Always good talking to you.
Likewise. Okay, Tom, Muffin?
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. Charlie Emanuel, I'll tell you what, win number 601 was pretty sweet for Charlie in a Phillies uniform. See, Wheels? That'll teach you not to know who the All-Star for the Braves was in 1979. The Phillies win it 14-1. We'll be back right after.